First of all, thank you, one and all, family, friends, wedding party, obviously the bride and groom. This has been a wonderful event, a wonderful evening. I hope everybody's having a very good time. It's a bittersweet moment when we as parents let go of our daughter to be with another in marriage. After all, Stephanie has always been our baby girl, and we will always see her as that tiny little surprise that we brought home from the hospital to her big brother, Michael. The little mom making sure her younger brother, David, knew just who was the boss. That wide-eyed toddler taking her first cautious steps. The little girl marveling at her first Dumbo flight with her dad at Disneyland. The 5-year-old that awed a room full of educators as she read from a prepared speech, barely able to reach the microphone on her tiptoes. The writer, the poet, the editor, the educator. The supportive, helpful, and considerate sister. The wonderful, thoughtful, and always loving daughter. Now the beautiful young woman, successful in her own right, and in all of this, though, still always our baby girl. But today, as part of this joyous occasion, we choose to see ourselves not so much losing a daughter, but welcoming a son. From the very beginning, Jayson has been courteous, kind, and respectful. The person we would always want for our daughter. The person we would invite into our family. The person we know loves and will care for Stephanie, and whom Stephanie will care for and love. You'll notice on each table a stack of books meant to represent the many stories that Stephanie and Jayson will write together as they travel through their life's journeys. And a single rose representing the love that they have for each other and the uniting of their two lives into one. So, family and friends, please join me once again in applauding the union of Stephanie and Jayson, Mr. and Mrs. Villamore.
Welcome, everyone, and a very pleasant good evening to all who came to celebrate the wedding of our son, Jayson, to Stephanie, our daughter now. I'm Juan, father of the groom, and it gives me great joy and honor and pleasure to see all of you here to help celebrate this very momentous occasion, the culmination of 5 to 6 years of dating and everything else, and finally culminating at the altar, which it should be. And as Jayson's dad, I would like to thank Compadre John and Comadre Ana for raising such a very wonderful and beautiful daughter who loves our son so much. We have waited for years for this to happen. In fact, I confided a story to Compadre and Comadre that one time while we were watching a Raiders game, which we are big fans of, we obviously, I asked Stephanie if Jayson already proposed or something. But she said, no, not yet. She said, not to worry. If he will not, we will do it. We are not going to lose you. Such a wonderful and a beautiful person. And we did. While Jayson was growing up, we tried as young parents and everything to give him unconditional love, hoping that he will be able to share it to somebody else. And he did, and he is doing it right now. And we are so proud. As I stand here, Jayson, and looking at you, making me the proudest dad ever, because you're the fulfillment of our dreams. Jayson was happy, loving, responsible, loyal, and compassionate person. And when he started dating and loving Stephanie, Stephanie was happy, loving, responsible, loyal, and compassionate lady. They found each other. They found their soulmate, and now they're going to be living happily ever after. So on that note, we'd like to welcome Stephanie to our family. She has been with us already anyway. This is just the formality of everything. She's always been like our daughter already. As I've said, watching the Raiders game every Sunday and sharing lunch or whatever. She's been family already. So officially welcoming her to our family. She can do no wrong. She's one of us. Remember that you do not marry the one that you can live with, but also you marry the one that you cannot live without. So whenever there's a problem that will arise in a marriage or in a relationship, since nothing is perfect, if you stumble or fall, it is not in the stumbling or falling that counts. So Jayson and Stephanie, whenever you stumble or fall, be sure you get up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. We love you so much.
I'm getting my notes together. Sorry. I had to write this morning. So, please bear with me. Hello, everyone. My name is Sonia. I am the mother of the groom. Thank you, everyone, for coming to celebrate the marriage of my son, Jayson, to his beautiful bride, Stephanie. It was a beautiful ceremony, and we are about to enjoy a wonderful party. Juan and I are extremely happy that Jayson and Stephanie finally met, and we are especially happy to welcome Stephanie's family, John and Anna, Michael and David, and we are looking forward to watch the bond between our families strengthened over the years. Jayson is our oldest son and the only boy in the family. In the Philippines, where Jayson was born, it meant a big deal to a young father like Jayson's dad that the firstborn child was a boy who carries the father's last name. Jayson brought a lot of joy to the family. He was the first grandchild on both sides of the family. He grew up reading books and watching Sesame Street and playing Voltron. He was a mellow, calm, and a very easy child to raise. He received lots of attention from the grandparents, especially my dad, who cuddled Jayson all the time. Jayson was born in Manila, and he moved with his dad to Cebu City when his dad worked as a head of radiology department in one of the big hospitals in his hometown. And I migrated to Kansas City, Missouri as a young nurse. In 1981, I returned to the Philippines with the hope to bring my entire family with me. I waited for 6 months for the U.S. immigration to process my petition, but they allowed me to only take Jayson and Joyce to the U.S. with me. Then I came back 4 months pregnant with Jasmine.
Made in Cebu.
One worked in Saudi Arabia as a physician while he was waiting for his petition to join us in the U.S. But this was taking forever. One made Jayson promise to care for me and his sister Joyce, and eventually Jayson and Joyce both helped me care for their newborn sister Jasmine. My sister Evelyn, thank you Evelyn, moved from New York City, and she became their second mom and their closest aunt. Jayson, at the age of 6, played the role of a young man. He learned to change diapers, fed his sister, read books to her, and later on, as they got older, Jayson and Joyce helped me check Jasmine's homework. All 3 kids were great kids in school and at home. My mom at that time would visit from Seattle to help me with the kids, especially during school days, which were actually the most challenging time for me and the kids. I worked from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. as an ICU nurse at UMC. And my sister Evelyn worked from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. as an IMC nurse at Valley. I slept for 2 hours after work, fed the kids breakfast, got them ready for school, dropped them off at school, then Jasmine and I would go back to sleep till it was time to pick up the kids again. The kids would sit in the car for 20 to 30 minutes waiting for Aunt Evelyn. And I'm so blessed to this day that no one ever caught me and charged me with endangering the kids. It was very difficult, but the kids learned to persevere. In the summer months, my mom would come back to Vegas from Seattle, and she walked the kids back and forth from school so I could enjoy uninterrupted sleep. My kids learned to be humble and look after one another because our situation was very far from perfect. We look at the calendar almost every day for 3.5 years, waiting for their dad to come to U.S. until one day, Jayson received a librarian's award from City Sewell Elementary School because he read 396 books in a year. The school all along thought I was a single mom until Jayson's 3rd grade teacher asked him where his dad was. And when the school found out about our story, Jason's teacher, whose husband was assistant to Senator Paul Laxalt, sent the U.S. Immigration Office in Saudi Arabia on orders to speed up one's petition. So in early 1985, our family was finally reunited, and that was actually the first time Jasmine got to meet his dad. He may not admit it to this day, but Jayson was instrumental in getting his dad in the U.S. Jayson is frugal. He does not spend money on material stuff. Even when he attended college at UC Berkeley, he budgeted his $100 per month allowance very well. He is a very simple person, never boastful, soft-spoken, polite, honest, and kind-hearted, and seen and never heard kind of a guy. All these traits are similarities he shares with Stephanie. In 2012, he was telling me about this girl named Stephanie, and he always talked proudly about her being a valedictorian of Green Valley. Jayson knew how to get through me because I am always impressed by smart women. When I finally met Stephanie at Jayson's house, she was singing karaoke, and she gave me the mic, and she allowed me to sing a Norah Jones song. I was so out of tune, but she gave me a big hand and a beautiful smile. I never thought anything of it, but I remembered her sincerity, sweetness, and her reserved demeanor. Jayson was always asking Stephanie if she was okay. And I kind of thought then that he really liked this girl. Later on, Jayson would come and visit me and his dad and always mention that he just passed by from jogging with Stephanie. They loved doing that. So for about 4 to 5 long years, Jayson had this best friend, and he would ask permission to bring her to all our family events. I have known Stephanie for that long. When my grandkids came to visit from Seattle, Stephanie would come and play with the grandkids, and they all loved her. And then I found myself falling in love with this beautiful friend of Jayson. She was so good to my son, to my daughters, to my grandchildren, but most of all, to my mom when she was ailing and needed assistance. Jayson devoted every Friday, every week, till before my mom passed in September of this year. Stephanie, however, would come to work from work every Friday, and they called Friday evening date as their date with my beloved mom. Stephanie supported my son when he was grieving over the loss of his beloved grandma. I knew then that Stephanie really loved my son, that she was willing to do that for Jayson. They spent many Sundays watching football, Raiders games with Jayson's dad. I purchased Raider shirts for both of them, and she would wear the shirt I bought her for her every time I was around. Stephanie displayed her appreciation that way, and it meant a lot to me. Last year in August, my daughter Jasmine wed my son-in-law Freddy. I told Jayson, if you do not propose to Stephanie, I will propose to her. Jayson told me he was waiting to sell his house because he felt it would be unfair for Stephanie to worry about his expenses. Then I told him, please don't make her wait too long. The house was on the market for 10 months or so. But he had his plan, and I said, okay. On June 12, 2017, Jayson called me from work and asked if I was busy. And I was thinking, maybe he needed a favor, but asked if Stephanie could join me for dinner. I was tired. I was a bit annoyed, and I told him, I have no cooked meals at home. So if it's okay with you guys, I can meet you at Cheesecake Factory in Green Valley. But be there on time, because I am really tired, I said. He said, yes, Mom, which, by the way, up to now, Jayson addresses me and his dad, yes, Mom, or yes, Dad, whenever he answers. He's always that respectful. I was already seated at the restaurant when they arrived, and both were excited to show off Stephanie's ring. That was one of the happiest days of my life. They were both so happy, and for a mom who loves her son, it was a beautiful thing to witness a very special lady love the son she loves. Thank you, Stephanie, for giving me an honor to gain another daughter, who is a beautiful lady inside and out. And thank you to both of you for this special day. To Jayson, my advice to you as your mom: love Stephanie more than you love yourself, and above everything else, including your future kids. Treat her like she's your princess every day. Do not walk ahead of her or behind her, but always by her side. In good times or bad, she should always be your bride. Do not deceive her, make her sad, or make her feel defeated. Always love her and respect her. Let today be just the beginning of your tomorrow, and let your tomorrow be your forever together. Stephanie, I love you. I hope you keep on shining as the new Mrs. Villamar. Dad and I and our entire family love you. We welcome you in our hearts a long time ago, and please stay there forever. God bless you both. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glass for Stephanie and Jayson, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mom.
Yeah.
First, I'd like to start by thanking the bride's parents, John and Anna Espinoza, for hosting this beautiful event. Yeah, thank you so much. I'd also like to thank the groom's parents, Juanito and Sonia Villamore, and for everything that they've done as well. If you could. And for all the guests out there, you know, many of you have come from, you know, far away, like California, Arizona, Colorado, and Texas, and, you know, beyond. You know, we thank you for joining us in their special occasion. Yeah, right on, Texas. In their special occasion, you know, and celebrating with the bride and groom. So, you know, give yourselves a hand. Right on. And then, for those of us who couldn't be here today, just a moment for them, please. All right, Jayson. What can I say about him? Let's see. He's smart. He's funny. He's witty. He's good looking. Dude, man, I can't read your handwriting. What is that supposed to say?
I'm just kidding. Dude, is that supposed to say tall? I'm just kidding. Actually, so for all those who don't know me, I'm Ken. My name is Ken. I am the groom. I'm Jason's cousin, but more like a brother, right? Because we've known each other for a long time, right? We go way back, like way when we were like even little kids, right? Yeah, maybe even small, yeah, exactly like my aunt said, maybe even smaller than that, you know, and that's a long time, dude, all right? It's a lot of bad haircuts, you know? But yeah, it was a good time, it's a long time, way everything. Yeah. But you know, like Jason's parents have said, he was a very good, you know, very upstanding kid. You know, he would rarely talk back to his parents. And whenever his parents asked him to do something, he did it with very little fuss. You know, he's a good kid like that. And he was a good brother, too. You know, he was always sticking up for his sisters, you know, and helping them out whenever they could. You know, picking them up from school and in from dance class, you know, and you know, actually, you know, that kind of reminds me of a story, because, you know, we were recently talking about it, right? This was around the time when Jayson just learned how to drive. He just got his license. And me and him, we hopped in the car, and we decided to pick up his youngest sister, Jasmine, from her dance class. And on our way home, you know, we decided to take a little detour, right? And so we gave Jasmine some, you know, don't tell mom candy. And then we left her in the car, and then we walked off and played video games. 7-Eleven, it wasn't, it was, maybe more than once, but yeah, 7-Eleven did come up a lot. Oh, don't worry, Auntie, it was only for a few minutes. It was only for a few minutes. Oh, she's alive, you know, she's okay. In fact, she's right there, you know, looking beautiful, along with all the other bridesmaids, right? Right, look at them, yeah, right? Let's give a hand for our bridesmaids. You know you like it. Anyway, so, you know, as good as you ladies look, you know, I'm sorry to say, but unfortunately, you come at a distant second to our gorgeous bride, Stephanie. Can we get a hand for her, yes? Look at her. Steph, yeah, you look absolutely stunning today. And you know, I've gotten to know you for a long time. You have several years now, right? And through those years, I've learned a few things about you, you know. Learned a lot about you, you know. Among those things, you know, you're adventurous. You know, you're always willing to try new things, right? And so, you know, yeah, like Jayson. Oh, unlike him. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so you're adventurous, willing to try new things. You know, you're very kind, yeah, very sweet, super sweet, yeah, caring, thoughtful, right? No, I'm very serious. You know, a lot like those princesses in those, you know, Disney films that you're so, you know, very fond of, right? In fact, you know, I always thought that, you know, you should have, or you deserve, right, one of those like fairy tale stories, right, where the handsome Prince Charming comes in and sweeps you off your feet, you know, and whisks you away to far off places, you know, and it generally just, you know, takes your breath away, right? And so when Jayson started dating you, I was thinking to myself, oh, this is perfect, right? You know, because now he can step in and, you know, make sure none of that could ever happen. Right? Yeah, right on. Yeah, you get out of here, you know. You get out of here with your jawline and your height. You know, she's taken. You tell her that. You tell him, whoever that is, you tell him that. She's taken. Oh. I might have deserved that. I may have deserved that. But honestly, Stephanie, you know, you are everything that I've said, and you know so much more. And it's been my pleasure to call you friend. And now it is my honor to call you sister. Congratulations, Jayson and Stephanie. Nothing but the best. I haven't had anything to drink, I swear. I haven't had anything to drink.
Hello, my name's Cassie. I met this girl First week, 8th grade, 18 years ago. Can't believe it's been that long. I still remember the first thing I said to you. We met through a mutual friend in the cafeteria, introduced us together. And I was just, this girl's so quiet, right? She didn't want to say anything. And all I noticed was so I looked at you and I said, I love your curly hair. And honestly, since then, we've been friends ever since, 18 years. A year later, high school, Janice, Maid of Honor. We met freshman year, first day, all because I sat in the wrong spot of PE. She turned around and said hi, and that was it. We were like, the three of us we're inseparable, you know. Janice was the giggles. She laughed at everything. Of course, Stephanie, the quiet one. And for some reason, they call me the crazy one. I don't know why. But that's just what they call me. And thinking all these, reminiscing over all these years, I have 4 beautiful kids. They all consider her aunts. And my baby, she has become her godmother. I am very blessed to have this woman in my life. There's that saying, as people know, that, friends come and go, but families forever. But if you're blessed to have that one, even just one, that is truly a blessing. I moved away from here 11 years ago, and you made sure that I understood we weren't going to lose contact. I was so worried about that. You always kept in touch and everything, and I'm not sure exactly when it was. It was quite a few years ago. She started talking about Jayson, this guy she met at work. And all through school, she's always been the smart one. I probably should have got some tutoring from her. But so saying you met someone, it was like, all focus on her studies is the first. Out of nowhere, I told her I'm coming up for another visit. And she says, okay, you can meet my boyfriend. I was like, boyfriend? Never used that word before. Came up. I still remember when I first met Jayson. We had a double date. I remember one of the first things I said was, you guys are perfect together, you're both quiet. And I figured, she's shy, just meeting. Until I saw my husband's Raiders hat. Yeah, we went to Sunset Cafe. We ate. You and my husband were just talking. But the main thing I noticed from her is she was glowing. I have never seen her like that. I was like, this is serious. Wow, And I was being picky because, this is my girl here. No. But you were so happy. And Jayson, you are an amazing guy. You were so sweet. And you guys are perfect together. As the years went on, I would come out and see it. I would tell Jayson, when are you asking that question? Pop the question already. So over the years, slowly getting to know each other, And then you came out to surprise me for my birthday, you and Mom. That was a great night, and I said the same thing to her. I can say this now, right? We were sitting, getting ready to go to dinner, and I told her, was he asking that question? She's like, I think he's going to do it. I was like, how do you know? Because Jayson's going to go talk to my dad. I was like, I hope so. Sure enough, you were gone 2 days. She calls me over and over and over again in the morning. That's not like her. So I answer it, and she's like, you have time for FaceTime? Okay. She showed me that ring. I was getting teary just seeing that. Brought tears to my eyes. I was so, so happy. I remember what my son said, we were on FaceTime. It's like, she's getting it. My son's, finally. My girls, of course, are like, you say the same thing. It's about time. Because they were waiting too. It's happy to be happy. Those kids love you. They call you Aunt Stephanie. You're not just Mom's friend. Aunt Stephanie and godmother. And it's how it's always going to be. All I can say right now is I'm so glad that you found someone that makes you very, very happy. Every time I'm here and come visit, I wish it was more, she's always glowing when she's talking about Jayson. I'll ask her, I was like, how's Jayson doing? You get the red in your face. You literally glow. And I love that. So I was like, yeah, this guy's a keeper. This guy's a keeper. But, so I love you guys. I hope you guys, have many years, obviously, forever, happiness. Even today, watching you guys at the ceremony, I was trying not to cry. Seeing how Jayson looked at you walking down, I was like, wow, So let's raise a glass to Jayson and Stephanie. I love you guys. And welcome to the family. Yeah. Love you guys so much. I love you.
Hi. They didn't tell me I was going to be up here, Kuya. It's so rude. Okay. I'm Jasmine. I'm baby doll. I'm the youngest of my Kuya. And on the behalf of my sister that could not be here with her beautiful kids, we want to welcome you, Stephanie. And it's about fucking time. Sorry, but I have been gone for, I moved all over the place, so a lot of this, whole love affair happened while I wasn't here. So when I finally came back and got to meet and everything, I just thought, I'm like, she's so nice. So nice. And my brother is obviously so nice, but I was like, okay, well, we'll get used to everything and meet everybody, and I figured out that once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale, and here you are. And isn't it fitting that on this poster of Beauty and the Beast, which, by the way, is amazing, everything is so gorgeous, Steph, and you look, as you should, the most beautiful woman in the whole room. And in the whole world, on your most important night, you are the only person that matters, like I told you before, no matter what. And I am so proud to have been there through most of it. The preparations, because they were amazing, right? This dance was incredible. And I can't explain to you how nervous they were, and no, it was you. Always, Kuya, Kuya Ken stole my thunder, because I was going to tell this story from my behalf, though, because all I remember is that every morning, every Christmas, actually, my parents used to buy us a video game, and it was always like Zelda or Super Mario 3 or something. And we would never sleep. And I was always the one that was like, ooh, I'm going to win, because I never got to, I'm 6 years apart from him. So, when my sister and him got to play stuff, I was always, hanging out with my parents, because I was never allowed. So I remember every Christmas we got some type of cool game, and I always stayed up, and he always beat it, every time. So whenever he picked me up in Bagoy, which was this Datsun, this blue Datsun. It was crazy. It ran forever. I don't know how it did, but it did. I would just do whatever he wanted. I just thought it was so cool. And I never realized that he would get in trouble, that I was sitting in the car while he was at 7-Eleven playing Street Fighter 3. I'm pretty sure it was Street Fighter 3 with Ryu and Ken. It's Ken and Ryu, and they beat it every time. They always had their names in that, at 7-Eleven. So I never knew we got in trouble. And we used to wrestle all the time, my brother and I. And this one time I remember my aunt, I think, at our old house at Tammy's Circle left a nail cutter in the bed. And I've never seen my mom get mad at my brother. And this was the only time, and I feel because I didn't see when he got in trouble after the 7-Eleven incident, or many incidents, I guess, according to Kuya Ken. I don't remember, but he scratched me from my inner thigh all the way to my knee, and it was this huge deal, and he was like, don't tell anybody about it, just don't tell anybody. And I was bleeding through my pants, and he was my mom's like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it just happened. And he, so guilty, he couldn't do it. He was so honest, the most honest person. He was like, I did it, Mom, I did it. I was wrestling with her, and she's like, you could have killed her, look at her leg. But that's just the kind of man that my brother is, the most honest, the most loving. I had the honor of going with him to buy this ring. And I remember, I got married, and everyone calls me baby doll, so I'm always he's like, oh, I would never propose to her during your spotlight, baby doll. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't take it away, but. But I'm just kidding. But he was like, I have this whole list. And I was surprised because she knew exactly what she wanted, just down to the cut, the leaves, everything. So I took him to a million places, and we finally found the right one. And he was going to buy you this monster rock, and I was like, I just don't know if Stephanie's going to wear that. It was monstrous. And I was like, no, she wants clear, diamond, beautiful. It's going to reflect off the light and blind everyone instead of this huge rock. And here it is. And he was supposed to do it at a dinner with all of us. And I think it was like, what? Like, you got it Monday and you did it Monday. You couldn't wait, right, Kuya? He was going to do this huge family dinner, and we were going to do it with all the Espinosas, everybody. And then I was like getting ready for it, thinking it's going to happen. He couldn't do it. He had to take her to the park right away as soon as he got that box, because, that's just how he was. He loved you from the start. And I have to tell you, from someone that knows my brother more than I think that, the other sister, but just kidding. No, then my ate. I'm closest to him. And Stephanie, I could not be more proud. I've never had a younger sister. That means I'm old. But, I would be honored to be your ate, Jasmine, over and over and over again. And the most beautiful love story ever told is what's on the movie poster right now of Beauty and the Beast. And here we are. It's the most beautiful love story ever told. I have to make an honorable mention to you on my grandmother's passing. You gave me a keychain of me and my whole family, and you didn't have to do anything. And you thought of me in the hardest time of my life, and I knew at that moment, and I texted you that day, that I have never been so blessed to have someone as beautiful as you in my life. Thank you for taking care. Thank you for taking care of my brother, of my grandma, of my family, of just being part of our lives. And, if you guys win first and you have a baby first, make sure you name it Jasmine, okay? Because it's a really great name. I'm just kidding. Katrina's good too. That's my middle name. It's fine, it's great. But I'm just kidding. I can't be more honored than to be here. I wish that Ate Joyce was here too, and I wish that Grammy was here too, because I know that she'd be up there dancing with all of us. Thank you to my mom, because, Mommy does everything, and thank you to Daddy and Auntie and all the aunties, because they're all here, and there's too many to mention, but that's a really good name. I was really sad to give it up. I'm glad to be a piece of Pia, but I'm even happier that you're a Villamor. I love you so much. Please raise your glass for the brand new Villamors. I love you. Okay, now.